Iron Man beats up, kidnaps, and even gives Daredevil his sight back. And all this takes place in a superior Iron Man run where Iron Man got corrupted and is now evil, and because of which he infected and gave everybody in the city of San Francisco access to the Extremis app, an app which allows anybody who can just download it to physically change any attribute of themselves. Sounds insane, right? Well, my name is AJ and let's get into it. So picking up directly from the last part in last video, we see a man try to shoot Tony Stark in the face, but obviously that didn't work, as imagine Tony Stark just immediately dying in his own comic series. We see him grab onto the man and fly up before holding him hostage in the sky, saying it's called graphene, stronger than most steels and transparent, referring to the thing around his faceplate, why the bullet obviously didn't kill him, with him going on to further say, now shooting me in the head I can forgive, no harm done, but you attacked my product in public, and that is something I cannot allow, referring to the Extremis app. And the father before was bashing it because his son got addicted and tried to rob someone of money so he can buy more time on the app. And unfortunately for the son, it's being spread all over social media and the news. So Tony makes the dad a deal, saying, I'm going to make this all go away. There'll be no trace of it, but you're going to do something for me. You're going to come back down and tell people it was all a part of the show, and then you're going to download your free Extremis. And with David the dad obviously not wanting any part of this, Tony then explains the situation to him, saying, you just tried to kill me in front of thousands of people and their cameras. Also, it's a very long way down, literally threatening this man's life if he doesn't comply with his wishes. And of course, David does. And as Tony flies back down, the crowd cheers like nothing happened. But there's one singular person who knows the truth, Matt Murdock, or Daredevil, as he was in the crowd. No one else heard their conversation, but I heard every word, and he needs to be stopped. Moving over hours later, we see Daredevil infiltrate Stark Island after what seems to be a giant after party taking place, with everyone there asleep and passed out from the party. And so what does Matt do? He seeks to literally kidnap and talk to Tony, but he even monologues, saying it shouldn't be this easy to get into the tower. There should be a high-tech security system, as he then finds Tony opening a capsule, making him smell something, keeping him knocked out that easily. But even he says this can't be Tony Stark. Tony never lets his guard down. But pushing past his concerns, he goes forward with his plan anyway, taking Tony away. Later at an undisclosed location, we see Tony start to wake up. And as he does, Daredevil activates a small machine, a EMP, supposedly taking out any tech Tony might have on him or he's connected to, with him further explaining that they're deep underground and shielded so no signal is getting in or out. And he's doing all of these precautions because he knows something is up with Tony. He even says, I want to know how much of you is really still in there. And with Tony lunging to attack him, saying it's all me, Daredevil simply punches him across the face. As in straight hand-to-hand combat, obviously Tony Stark should stand no chance against Daredevil because he's been trained by some of the best fighters and can hang, likewise, with the best fighters in the Marvel Universe. But moving back, Daredevil then keeps talking to Tony, saying, you're in my world now, and you're staying here until this Extremis has run its course and until the city's addiction is done. But how do you know the Extremis downloads won't continue without me? Tony tries to ask, but then Daredevil rightly calls out his ego that he normally has, saying, you like to put yourself at the center of everything. I don't think you'd even let it run automatically. You need to be in control. And with Tony basically agreeing, saying, yeah, that's pretty insightful, but let me ask you this. If I like control so much, why would I let you take me so easily? And just like that, the tides of this battle start to shift, with a blue light now emitting from behind the door, with Tony saying, you think I didn't scan for you in that crowd yesterday? You honestly think I didn't know you would come for me? Now, being blind, you may not understand that I see everything. But he even goes on to compliment Daredevil, saying, taking out all of the electronics, removing me from all signals, yeah, that was very clever. But it's not just electric signals anymore. No, my technology has moved beyond that. Symbiote biological technology. It's got a little bit of me in it. It's alive and I can feel it. Knock, knock. Before the door literally shoots open with so much force, it almost completely crushes Daredevil. And as he looks up, he sees the Endosim armor coming in, covering Tony. And with Tony finally admitting that he's had this entire situation under his control, he says, I wanted you to come for me. I have something for you. Before seemingly electrocuting Daredevil, instantly knocking him out. And as we move over, we see Matt unmasked on a bed, his bed in his room. And as he slowly wakes up thinking, wait, this is my bed, I can smell it, but something is wrong, he opens his eyes and looks around. For the first time in years, he finally has his vision back, courtesy of something Tony Stark did to him. Which, side note, you would think in a world full of superpowers, magic, alien technology, Matt would find some way to get his vision back. As if Tony Stark can do it, even though he's evil, we know it's definitely possible. But this obviously begs the question, would he be better or worse as Daredevil with his actual sight? As having sight has its advantages, his radar sense also gives him a different level of advantages. But let me know your thoughts. Anyways, moving along, as Matt wakes up and finally gets readjusted to having his eyesight back, Tony Stark speaks up, saying, "You are very lucky, Matt Murdock." This is a first face you get to see, pointing to his own of course, but Daredevil then gets up and goes to look in the mirror, something he hasn't had the privilege of in a very long time, just seeing his own reflection and face. And with this obviously being very weird for him, he gets serious and asks Tony what he has done. And Tony says he tailored a specific strain of Extremis to fix his eyesight, but it is temporary and won't last long, deteriorating very quickly. He's going to need constant boosters, and I'm happy to discuss how we're going to keep this gift of sight going. Obviously in a way to try and bribe or have something over Matt, so he won't ever cross and come in line with Tony's plan again. And with Daredevil picking up on this, he tries to question Tony about it, but Tony tries to brush it off, saying, "Matt, you're seeing for the first time in a very long time. Stop overthinking things and just take a moment to enjoy this. Have a drink with me." But Matt, not in the mood for any games, he smacks it out of his hand, saying, "What gives you the right? What gives you the right to play God?" And with Tony still not taking him serious, being a god can't be that hard. I mean, if Thor can do it, but Daredevil not in the mood for this, says, "You think this is all a joke?" And with Tony finally getting serious with Matt for a second, "I am the most intelligent, capable person on the planet. I am not playing God. All this time, I've been playing human." Which, whether he's right or wrong, is a crazy intimidating line from a hero or villain. But he even continues saying, "I've been doing this for you, all of you," referring to humanity and being a superhero. "I've wasted so much time, so much energy to look like you, to sound like you, so that you specs would feel comfortable around me. I've been holding back, but not anymore. I've changed. It's like I was blind and I can now see. Only I am not being ungrateful about it." But just then, Tony suddenly gets a phone call, and is none other than She-Hulk calling Tony to let him know that the teen Abomination has broke out of his holding cell at S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's going to come straight for Tony. And with this obviously being a higher priority than Matt right now, he turns to leave. But Matt tries to stop him, saying, "We're not done here, Stark," hitting his hand on his shoulder, which is a big no-no as Tony literally turns around and decks him in the face, drawing blood. Tony then fully masks on, saying, "I don't have to justify myself to you. You are so far beneath me. If you choose to be sensible and you want to keep your sight, call me and we'll talk about how to make permanent arrangements. If not, it'll wear off soon, and you can enjoy riding your high horse through your dark, dark world," before opening a window and flying off. And as Daredevil tries to catch him before he does, and sees the first sunrise he has seen in a very, very long time, finally appreciating that he has his sight back for now at least. As he then reaches for his phone, calling a number up, saying, "Can we meet?" Moving over, we pick up with Tony to see where he's going. And of course, he's heading back to his new Stark Island, formerly Alcatraz, as the teen Abomination has arrived and is causing havoc looking for Tony. But S.H.I.E.L.D. got there first, and as they try to shoot and take him down, they find that dealing with a Hulk adjacent character is no joke, as he picks up two motorcycles, tossing it at their helicopter, destroying the vehicle and making them plummet into the water, which would have killed them, but Tony Stark arrived, saving them. And as they thank him, he says nothing but "Can you swim?" before throwing them in the water and flying off to continue the battle. And as he gets in, he immediately blasts Teen Abomination before tackling him into a wall, saying, "Stay down, kid, or I will hurt you again." But you see, Teen Abomination isn't here to wreak havoc or even hurt Tony. He came here looking because the Extremis app didn't do anything to change his appearance or what he is. He just wanted his help. And with Tony obviously blowing up at him, saying, "This is how you ask for help," it's revealed that Teen Abomination is actually just a little kid, 13 years old to be exact. And with Tony replying, "You're a giant green ball of anger and puberty. Of course this is how you ask for help." But Tony does agree to help him, saying, "Yeah, I'll talk to S.H.I.E.L.D., but right now you get up and start cleaning up the mess. I can still use you." Moving over back to Matt Murdock's perspective, we see who he called to meet up with. And as he arrives and knocks on their door, it is Foggy Nelson, arguably his best friend. And with Foggy at first being alarmed because of the bruise and hit Tony gave him on the face, Matt calms him down, saying, "It's still nice that you still ask after all these years of fighting bad guys in alleyways," as he then takes off his glasses. And with Foggy Foggy being confused, saying, "Is something wrong?" Matt simply says, "No, I just wanted to see you," looking at Foggy with his own two eyes. And with Foggy still being confused, saying, "What's this about?" Matt says, "Don't worry, it's nothing, Foggy," as his vision just then starts to go out, turning his world black before his radar sense kicks in again, leading him back into his blind world. And leading us to the end of this issue and story so far. As always, if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like or even sub if you're new and enjoyed it, as if you enjoyed this one, you'll be sure to enjoy any future and past videos. Thank you.